all evil is lying there in the deepest alleys of our own mind, and we don't even know about that. How many evil thoughts we have, on the surface, they don't seem to be there, as if they are non-existent. You might not have murdered someone, but how many times you felt like murdering someone? You haven't ever committed a robbery, but how many times the thought of a robbery has occurred in your mind? How many times you didn't do the adultery, but the thought to commit the adultery came in the mind? Truly speaking, every thought which is coming is not coming because you didn't wanted it. You wanted it, that's the reason it is coming out. The seeds are there. And these seeds of evilness aren't there in the mind from this birth alone. These seeds are there in this mind since eons. We are not new on this earth. We have lived and walked on this earth for thousands of lives. And in each and every life, you were not that fortunate that you met a master, you met a teacher from whom you would listen these noble, wisdomful thoughts. Have you ever seen a person living in a remote village? I remember once I was in the farthest corner of West Bengal, close to Gangasagar, a small village, a small hut. A 5-year-old boy was running around a tree. He just had a simple loincloth, absolutely naked. It was so hot. But the child is not aware that it is hot. Even at a very distant place, say at least 100 kilometers, no school, no hospital. There's just a road which is leading to a temple. And this village is in a nowhere place. And when I saw that boy, naked, no school, no electricity. So this means no television. This means no newspaper. And I wondered. And I tried to portray myself in that child. If I would have been, and I could have been, in some distant past, same village, small hut, no amenities, no modern civilization happened. This is 21st century, and yet that child doesn't know that it is 21st century. No exposure, no education, no teacher, no master, no spirituality, nothing. But that child is still learning so much from the life and would be desiring so much in its own capacity to achieve, to attain, maybe a bigger piece of land, maybe a little bigger house. Maybe as a child would grow, mature to be a young man, would be aspiring to have a wife, have children, have some wealth, have some more buffaloes and more cows. Because for that peasant's boy, what is attainable? Not a Rolls-Royce car, just a buffalo is enough. A big, fat, black buffalo maybe would be the most prized possession for that boy, for that man. In all life, we have lived. In the all past lives, we have learned so much, hoped for so much, desired for so much. Can you imagine when a peasant would fight with another peasant? Would he think about non-violence and Ahimsa and Dhampada Sutra? No. He's not aware of that. If he gets angry, can pick up a sickle and kill the person. And it's done. So that killing spree, the seed to kill is right there. To possess, the seed is right there. So all evil, wickedness, hatreds, possessiveness, this all dirt, this all garbage is already stored there, is imprinted, the samskaras are there. And we are trying to meditate with all of these samskaras. No wonder it becomes so difficult to sit in the stillness. Why? Many times, all those who sincerely meditate, they have found that there isn't any thought which is arising in the mind, but yet they are feeling very uneasy. They are not enjoying their sitting. And they wonder why. And the reason is the bad samskaras, the evil samskaras which are lurking right there in the alleys of the deeper mind. That's the reason all masters have been insisting on cultivating the awarefulness, the vigilance, and seeing the distance of me and the mind, so that with the sword of this vigilance, with the sword of this awarefulness, we can chop off these seeds which are there lying in our mind in the form of samskaras. It is easy to eradicate thoughts, but it's very, very difficult to eradicate the samskaras. And these samskaras give rise to the other thoughts, and then these other thoughts provide a lot of waverings and wanderings and distraction to the mind. So with a great resolve and with great zeal and great sincerity, we do need to work on our own mind. And remember, we are what our mind is. So if our mind is having this bad, evil samskaras, our all nobility will be farce. It won't be true. And these samskaras will propel again and again evil and bad thoughts in the mind, and these thoughts can be so potent that you end up acting upon those thoughts. You won't be able to think, you won't be able to judge. You would only end up seeing when you would have done what you have done. To put an end to this, one needs to be guided in meditation. As a swimmer learns to swim every day, wades into the water, and the swimming doesn't get learned by fighting with the water. We have to surrender to the water. When we leave ourselves, whether water drowns or keeps us on the surface, when we stop fighting with the water, we begin to float. And the day we begin to float on the surface of the water, it becomes so easy to use our arms and legs, and there the swimming happens. Similarly, in meditation, we don't have to fight with the mind. We don't need to fight with our mind, because fighting with our own mind is just like if someone holds the laces of his shoes and yet tries to stand straight. It's not possible. You have to leave the laces to stand straight. By holding the laces, you can jump like a monkey, but not stand like a man. Similarly, we cannot hold the laces of the mind and still be straight, stilled in our meditation. We have to leave the laces. We do not have to be bothered about the mind too much, that in itself it becomes a biggest obstacle in going deep in the meditation. Thoughts are just like clouds. They never touch the sky. They cannot. Sky is always virgin, untouched. So are you, untouched, virgin, sky-like. Thoughts are just like clouds. If someone boards in a plane or a helicopter and jumps out to ride on the cloud, because this seems so inviting, and if you think that you can ride in cloud, as the so-called angels do that, and if you take the jump, you won't end up sitting on a cloud, because cloud is nothing. It is just that it is there and we can have a look, but you can't touch a cloud. You can't hold a cloud. You can't hug a cloud. You can't ride a cloud. Cloud comes and cloud goes. Sky is always there. Similarly, our inner sky is beyond the touch of all thoughts of our mind. You might be having the most evil thoughts, yet your inner sky is untouched, virgin, pure, divine. Don't be bothered about the thoughts. Just be instilled and focused in your inner being, which is just like a sky. And once you detach yourself, the thoughts will just float by. They just go. Just dwindle away. They don't remain there.